You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's ZENNI.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. So Bobby, or Becky, whatever your name is, what do you want to be? What do you want to do when you grow up? Remember when somebody asked you that question a long time ago and you're like, oh, well, then life got in the way and maybe that happened and maybe you're doing it again right now. You're asking that question. Nobody's going to ask you right now, by the way. If you're 40 or 50 years old, nobody's going to say, what do you want to be when you grow up? You got to do that one yourself. But it happens a lot. It happens all the time, every day in my life. I'll talk about that today a little bit and give you some ideas about what maybe if that's going on inside your head, how you can kind of process that. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day. It is simple. Simple, simple, simple. You have something you want to do with your world. Make it better, make it worse. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm not going to judge you. You want to make it worse, that's fine. I'll support you in that, okay? Most people don't want to do that, but maybe you do. And you have an idea. Maybe you figured it out. If you haven't done that, that's a first step. But then you show up and at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm out of bed. Let's go. Let's do this thing. And then it doesn't happen. And you have a hard time. So my job here is to actually kind of get you through those days and make sure you make progress every single day to get what you want, no matter what it is. I'm not going to judge you. How are you? My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer at motivationtomove.com. You know that already. Twice a year, something kind of cool happens. I open up my coaching schedule. I don't maintain a large clientele, maybe 6 or 7 people at a time. That's about it. A combination of business and personal coaching. But twice a year, I open up the calendar because in January, I'll be booked solid anyways. Now's your chance. I do it in August and I do it in November. So if you're considering coaching, maybe you could use to figure things out into the end of the year and into next year, you have 2 choices. You could use my 60-minute program. It's a 60-minute session where you just prepay. We spend time on the phone. We figure stuff out. We hang up. That's it. Highly effective for short-term stuff. You only do it one time, by the way. Or if you're thinking long-term, really setting some goals and driving hard to build the things you want, like a lot of people right now working with me to build a popular podcast. I know how to do that. If you'd like to do that, just go to motivationtomove.com and apply to be a coaching client. I'll talk to you for nothing, for free. We'll work on your life, figure out if it's a good fit, and see if we can move forward. Motivationtomove.com, whichever one you choose, that's where you do it. So, what do you want to be when you grow up? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Like I said, most people, that question gets posed, in first grade these days? I think when I was in school, it was probably not till high school. So what are you going to be? I don't know. Now it's like you're born. You're right out of the, you're right out of the mom. What are you going to do? And I don't know. Most people, I don't think, ever ask the question themselves. Do you remember doing that? Did you actually say, well, what am I going to be? Or what am I going to do? Some people did, I guess, but often you'll get that asked by somebody who's older. And most times we don't have a clear answer. Well, I guess I graduate high school, go to college, and figure it out. And you follow the path. You do that. You go to high school, you go to college. Most people get married, they buy a house. You know the trajectory. It doesn't always work that way, but a lot of people do. Life happens. You're off and running. Bam, it just happens. And you didn't have a lot of say. Now, fortunately for me, I actually had an answer. From the time I was about 15 years old, I knew what I was going to do. I thought it was going to be radio, and it was for a long time. But then I found other things that made me happier and allowed me to serve better and help more. But it's still kind of the same place. At least I had a direction to head off. Not everybody has that. But now, here's the thing. In the world that I'm in these days, and the huge amount of coaching that I get to do for people, I'm finding that 40 or 50 years later, people start asking themselves that question, maybe for the very first time. The family has grown. The kids are moving out. Don't know what the next step is. The career has gone. It's 20 or 25 years in play. And now it's time for the next thing. What are you going to retire to? And you're too young to retire. You have to do something, right? The lucky ones, by the way, that ask that question, they don't confine it until when they retire. I hate that. You want to drive me crazy? Just here's how you do it. When I retire, I'll get to do the things I love to do. Stop. Do that now. You're lucky if you say, what do I want to be when I grow up? And you're 40 years old or 45 or 50 or even 55 or 60. You're lucky. Keep retirement out of it. Just decide, who do I want to be right now? Now, it's kind of scary. It's scarier than when you're a kid, isn't it? Because when you're a kid, you don't know. You have no idea. You haven't adulted yet. You don't know the bills. You have no history. You have nothing to look back on and say, wow, if I make this change, everything could fall apart, which is kind of what everybody says. Still, you're looking for a change in your life, right? So if you want to do that, here's a few things you need to understand. This has always worked for me, and I wish I could give you a step-by-step 1, 2, 3, do this, it'll work for you. But I think I'm being honest with you when I say that I think that's impossible. I give you strategies, I give you a mindset, yeah, but it takes time. You have to figure stuff out. I'd be lying to you if I said anything other than that. And anybody who tells you they can just, in 3 easy steps, have you do exactly what you think you want to do, they're lying to you. It's not going to happen. So the first thing to understand is this. You cannot move forward by hanging on to what you have. Yeah, you want to keep your experience, you want to keep your finances, things like that. You want to hang on to the kind of the comforts of life, I guess, if you will. But in terms of what you do and how you do things and how you think, you can't do it. You can't stay where you are and move forward at the same time. You get what you focus on. So if you're focused on, well, I've done this my whole life. That's who I am. This is who I am on the inside. I know, but you want to be something else. Yeah, but this is who I am on the inside. If you focus on that, you just get more of that. You know that's how that works. So somehow we have to break free from that. If you focus on what you're giving up, you're going to get more of what you're giving up. That's it. And you'll never get rid of it. It'll always be there. Instead, you have to shift that focus around to the unknown future. How do I do that? I have no idea what I'm going to do. I know. So if we don't know exactly what we're going to do, we at least shift our attention to figuring it out. I often will tell people, if you don't know your purpose, then your purpose is to figure out your purpose. That's it. Just go fishing for it. That's all. It's a simple way of thinking, but isn't it the true way of thinking? You're doing it anyway right now. If you don't know your purpose in life, you're probably figuring out right now. You're working on that, right? So it's just simple logic. You shift your focus to the unknown future, and then you look for clues about what is going to turn you on, get you excited, what's going to work for you. Now, I call the process exploring the possibilities. In this case, we'll call it exploring your possibilities. So just imagine that anything is possible. There is no limitation. There is no consequence, good or bad. It's just not even there. There is no commitment required at all. Money doesn't matter. Time doesn't have an impact. It doesn't matter. None of it matters, because once you stumble upon that thing you want, you will have arrived. You don't have to wait for it to get here. You don't have to wait 10 years for it to happen. Once you stick your toe in the water, your toe gets wet. You don't have to get all the way in, do you? You've started already. You will have arrived in what you want to do as soon as you begin to kind of stumble into it. Your life is going to be forever changed because of that. I can't not tell you. how many times, good and bad, I have just stumbled into something and followed that breadcrumb, and my life changed. Good and bad. I avoid the bad these days. I just do the good. So how does this happen? Well, here is a trick to doing this. And like I said, there's no magic formula here other than patience, confidence, taking a deep breath and drinking a cup of tea every afternoon, if that's what it takes to do it. I don't care. The secret is to put the brakes on what you're doing right now. So if you don't like what you're doing, if it's your job or whatever situation you have, I don't know what it is, but if you don't like that, the secret is to decide you don't like it, you don't want it anymore. That's all. Just decide, put the brakes on it, you're just not going to do it anymore. You don't have to know where you're heading, you're just not going to do this anymore. And no, you don't have to burn down the house today. You just have to, in your mind, decide, I ain't doing that anymore. That's going to give the possibility that you can do something else and you can find a new adventure. Because if you're not going to stay where you are, you're going to go someplace else and do something else. So now you have to look for it, right? So the first thing is to pump the brakes and say, I'm not doing this anymore. It's going to take time to find a good fit. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to slide back to your old ways. You're going to want to. Because the further you get away, see, here's the thing that happens is when you stumble upon something that starts to get your attention, and now you're starting to bring it into your life a little bit and starting to really make it real, sometimes it gets a little bit uncomfortable. And what do you want to do? You want that comfort zone. Let's go back to the way it used to be. Don't do that. No. You got to take a breath. You've got to hold where you are. You've got to give it time to evolve in your life and become what you want to be. I cannot tell you how many clients I work with where most of my job when I'm working with them on a coaching call is to evaluate where they are and to hold them and keep them from sliding backwards, get them to slide forward into what they want. It takes time. So pump the brakes, hold onto the space you've created, explore your possibilities, and let life unfold in front of you. It may not happen overnight. And again, maybe it will. If you have listened to me at all in the 15 years I've been doing this program, you've heard me go through this process dozens and dozens of times. When I decide a new adventure is ready to happen, I will almost always say, I don't really know what it's going to be. I'll figure that out on the fly. I just know it's not going to be the way it is. We're changing. We're going in a new direction. We just went through it since this year, and it's put me in an entirely different spot right now. It's very cool. I want you to do the same thing. So that's it. Explore the possibility. Give it time. If you don't know your purpose, go make your purpose to find your purpose. Put a smile on your face. Have fun every single day. Enjoy your life. That's what it's here for. If you want to talk to me about coaching, go to motivationtomove.com. Choose your poison, whichever way you want to do it, and let me know. We'll go from there, all right? Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.